We are back with another intellectual property battles of the latest and greatest Shark Tank episode, season 15, episode 22, the season finale. And wow, was it a doozy. I am your host, Dave, almost 10-year intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from trademarks to patents, trade secrets, NIL, so forth and so on. And this episode it had a little bit of everything. We're going to start with Mosh. And again, before we start with Mosh, I want to let you guys know that when we do these IP battles, the two things that I'm looking for is which company do you think is going to be around for the next 10 to 15 years? And then what company do you think is going to make the most money? Now, those two may end up being the same company, or they may be different companies. In other words, it may be one company that's going to make a ton of money, but you think it's going to be more of a phase and they're going to phase out at some point. But another company is going to continue to kind of be around for 10 to 15 years just because of maybe the product that they're offering or something along those lines. I think this episode was great because all the pitches were phenomenal. And personally, I think all the pitches have a place in a marketplace for a long time. So shouts out to all the contestants on this week. We're going to start with Mosh, give a little bit of a summary of that one, and then we're going to come back and I'll let you know my thoughts and opinions.
Hi, Sharks. I'm Maria Shriver, and this is my incredible son.
And hi, Sharks. I'm Patrick Schwarzenegger, and obviously this is my amazing mother, but she's also my business partner in our new venture, Mosh.
Patrick, what's Mosh?
That's a great question. Mosh is a protein bar, but made specifically for your brain.
Okay, Smarty Pants, what's in Mosh?
Well, we are loaded with 12 to 13 grams of protein. And we have ingredients that support a healthy brain, like omega-3s, vitamin B12, vitamin D3, functional mushrooms like lion's mane, ashwagandha. We're non-GMO, gluten-free, high in fiber, and so much more.
We are delicious, nutritious, and best of all, we are a mission-driven company. We give back to Alzheimer's research, which is a cause near and dear to both of us. My dad, who you can see over here, Sergeant Shriver, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's back in 2003. He passed away in 2011, but ever since he was diagnosed, I have been working day in and day out trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's, which impacts millions and millions of people. So what do we want from these sharks?
Well, we want them to start thinking about their brain and their body, but also we're searching for $500,000 for a 2% stake in our business.
We think that's a great deal. Woohoo! They said woohoo! I think that's a good sign. We want them to invest in their brain health. We want them to help us make Mosh a household name. And most of all, we want them to jump into our Mosh pit today.
Now, man, I actually like Mosh. Mosh, for a number of reasons. Number one, they had the mom and the son duo, which I think they balance each other extremely well. Mom, she's a visionary. She can talk about the why. She can draw people in. Whereas then the son, you can tell he has the business background, more analytical. He can kind of make sense of the numbers, break down the numbers. And he paused for a little bit. Go check out on that breakdown episode of Mosh that I did. He paused for a little bit at the offer from Lori because he wanted to make sure, was it a right offer? Should we turn it down? Again, I love why they're doing it. Seems like mom and or the father of the mom and the grandfather of the son. Seems like he was an amazing guy, a brilliant guy, and towards the end of his life, unfortunately, suffered from Alzheimer's and later passed away. And as she told that story, it was extremely captivating. But that was her why for doing this. She wanted to get more into the Alzheimer's space and support, bring awareness to this issue. And I love the fact that with all these situations or all these pitches, but particularly this one, that they are finding a solution to a problem that they each encounter every day from everybody on this one, from Flouse to Arbor to Mosh and to Sip Herbal. All of these pitches had a personal issue that they were, a personal problem that they encountered and that led them to inventing something or coming out with something, a product or whatever the case may be, to essentially combat or provide a solution or be a solution to the problem. So I love that. This was another case of that. Mosh, an energy bar, nutritional energy bar that, again, goes towards your brain support. So that was amazing. And again, I'm glad that she was able to get a deal with Lori. I think Lori will be a strategic partner. It seems like Lori kind of felt what it is and was really drawn into the story of it. And as I said on the breakdown video, you only need one. It seems like the other sharks, 3 or 4 sharks, they were out pretty quickly. but you only need one. You only need to hear yes one time, and let that be a lesson for everybody who's aspiring to be an entrepreneur, that you may get a ton of no's, but you only need that one person to tell you, yeah, to kind of propel you in the business to the next level. Now it seems like, Mosh, they made some pretty good money early on. It seems like they weren't quite profitable. Again, I love the fact that they had the team, they made money. Thankfully, they got a deal. And yeah, man, I like Mosh. I like Mosh. So let's move on to the next one, which was Sip Herbals. Let's hear her story or summary, and then I'll come back and give you my thoughts on it.
Hi, Sharks. My name is Orletha Smith. I'm from Gardena, California, and I'm here seeking $100,000 for 10% of my company. Sharks, I used to suffer from anxiety, jitters, and tummy troubles every single day. And do you know what the culprit was? My morning cup of coffee. Now, I wasn't giving up my morning routine without a fight, but I'm allergic to everything. So I have to read every single ingredient on every single label, because you never know what they're actually putting in the food you eat. Like, do you know what's in artificial vanilla flavoring? Beaver butt. What? That's right.
Beaver butt?
You got a vanilla coffee?
It's
a good chance you had a hot, steaming cup of beaver butt.
Why the butt, though? How do you know?
Okay, we'll say that. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Details. That's why we made Sip Herbals. Sip is a gut-supporting, caffeine-free herbal coffee substitute made for label readers like me. Sip is a prebiotic tea that's made with whole food ingredients. Each cup of Faux Joe, see what I did there? It's full of chicory root for gut support, dandelion root for liver support, and roasted carob for that smooth, sweet taste without any of the waste. Sip steeps like tea, but it feels like coffee. So you get that full-bodied mouthfeel of coffee that you crave and all of the coffee house flavors that you love. So now people who have sensitive systems don't have to feel like they're missing out on anything. Well, except for maybe the beaver butt.
Right.
So Sharks, who wants to help people reclaim their daily ritual with Sip Herbals?
Now, again, I like this one. And although I think she was the only one who didn't get a deal, I think that kind of was the advantage to her, because I think, again, she's going to be around. I think she's going to be around Sip Herbals. As I talked about earlier, she just didn't like the coffees, upset her stomach. And she kind of had maybe some health issues with that. And that led to her creating Sip Herbals, which, again, she has a trademark on the term Sip Herbals. So that's good that she's protected her trademark. But even though she didn't get a deal, she's going to benefit, as all these contestants are, from the exposure that Shark Tank is going to give her. She still was making money. I think she said that she made $250,000. I'm not sure if that was lifetime of sales or for the year, but she's still making money, or making money from her products. I don't think that she necessarily needs a shark such that they're going to come in and provide money and take away from the equity. And again, this is a product that may not make millions of dollars, but she can definitely make hundreds of thousands of dollars and go off and really live a good situation, making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Again, everybody's not going to make millions or multi-millions of dollars, but if you can, what they say, the average income in America is what, $40,000, $50,000, to the extent that you can start a business and make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year in profit, I think you're on your way. And I think, again, she's going to benefit again from the exposure from being on Shark Tank. And I think that's ultimately going to propel her to another level. It's good that I think it was kind of a blessing in disguise that she didn't get a deal, because I don't think she need one of the Sharks. Again, hopefully she was able to take the feedback that they were giving her, and she doesn't need to kind of have one of the Sharks to come in and, like I said, take equity out and kind of give her money and all those stuff. I think she's going to be fine just the way she is, and kudos to her. So good for her. The next one, Arbor. Let's hear the summary of her story, and then come back and I'll let you know my thoughts.
My name is Vanessa Dawson, and I'm the founder and CEO of Arbor. I'm here seeking $500,000 for 4% of my company.
Oh, she's making money.
Sharks, did you know gardening is one of America's favorite pastimes? In fact, over 50% of the country has a green thumb or wants one. I turned to gardening when I became a mom to relieve my stress. And I quickly started to look at all of the ingredients that I was using on my lawn and garden. I realized quickly that this category is full of synthetic toxic chemicals. So when my kids or my pets were playing in the yard or helping in the garden, they were being exposed to these harmful ingredients. I knew I needed to come up with a solution. So I founded formulations based on science from organic, natural ingredients found in nature. Introducing Arbor, the world's first plant wellness system. Arbor is a line of effective organic plant care products that can be used on your lawns, on your vegetable gardens, on your raised flower beds, and your indoor plants. Our proprietary products are proven to work equal to or better than common synthetic ingredients and organic options on the market. We make lawn and garden care safe, simple, and sustainable. So Sharks, who's ready to help consumers more easily grow a better world?
Now, Arbor, man, she was phenomenal. She was extremely phenomenal. She actually, she said a lot of buzzwords that I like. She said proprietary. Anytime you talk about proprietary, that lets me know as an IP attorney that you're protecting something. Now, in this case, she has some kind of plant-based products that helps you out with the garden, helps you out with your plants. And I would imagine that this is more of a trade secret as opposed to a patent, just because with a patent, and she probably could get a patent on her proprietary formula, but she would have to disclose the secret sauce, and then that would only last 20 years before it expires and it goes into the public domain and everybody can use it and make it. Whereas as a trade secret, you keep it as a trade secret, you take reasonable means to protect it. That, again, that may be giving it to only the people that need to have access to it for the sake of the business, not giving it to maybe lower level employees or people who don't need access to it. Make it password protected and kind of keep it in a safe location. Once you take those reasonable measures, and the thing provides you an economic advantage over the marketplace, which it seems like for her it has, that makes it trade secret protectable. And the great thing about trade secret is as long as it's a secret, it's protectable and you can benefit from it. So just think of the Coca-Cola formula. We all know that the Coca-Cola formula exists. We all have a lot of imitator cola products, but they still don't taste just quite like the Coca-Cola beverage does. So, and again, that's a reason because Coca-Cola, the company, has taken reasonable measures to protect their intellectual property or protect their trade secret. And as a result of it, they can continue to benefit as long as that secret is protected and they have economic advantage, which again, Coca-Cola has been around forever and they're still making a killing off of it. So I think Arbor, the good thing is I don't think she didn't make, I think she rejected the deal, which again, I think was cool because she's going to be around. So she did get a deal. She got a number of offers, but she ended up rejecting the offer, which I think is good for her. And hopefully she heeds the advice from the Sharks, because as they talked about, I know she was doing maybe a combination of direct to consumers as well as retail. But I think if she pivots, which the Sharks talked about, to just kind of focus maybe more so on D2C, because she was making a ton of money. I think it was $7 million that maybe she was making. It was either $7 million or $11 million that she planned on making this year on the product. So she's making a ton of money. However, she has a lot of expenses, so she's not quite profitable yet. And I think a lot of that is because she's in some retail stores, but to the extent that she can maybe focus a little bit more of the efforts on D2C and with platforms such as Amazon. Amazon as well as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. With these social media platforms, that can really help you out as far as kind of selling to consumers, selling to the masses without having to kind of deal with the expenses and the headache of maybe going a big box retail route, which again, 30 years ago, you had to go to big box retail route, or at least a retail route if you wanted to start a business to get your stuff in the stores. But nowadays with, like I said, social media and Amazon and platforms such as that, you can sell direct to consumer a lot easier, going to trade shows and kind of building a brand, building a community. And I think, and she was very smart. She is very smart. She knew the numbers. She is very witty. I think she is definitely pleasant, upbeat personality, positive. So I think if she kind of really takes that advice as far as being able to focus a little bit more of the efforts on direct to consumer, I think she can see a big benefit in her business. And that's one of the things that I like about Shark Tank. Again, I talked about earlier, you're going to benefit from the exposure. And and as a result of that, your sales are kind of go through the roof. maybe you get a deal, maybe you don't get a deal. But I think just from the exposure, first and foremost, that's going to be good. But then also, you're going to get some good advice from 5 sharks who's at least 15, 20 years of experience between each of them, or just individually. So you've seen collectively, talking about 100 years of experience, but then also they're going to give you this good feedback, so you can they're giving it to you for free essentially, so that hopefully if you kind of take it, maybe regardless of whether or not they get a deal or they decide to go out, don't feel some type of way about it, kind of really process it, take it all in, and then kind of really act on it. And I think you can benefit, and for her, Arbor, she's protecting the IP, the trademark regarding the brand. So that's good for her. But to the extent that she can kind of make a couple steps and kind of really pivot the way she needs to with this one, I think she can really be around, and she's going to be a force to be reckoned with within that space. So let's go to the last one, which again, it seems like they always say the best for last. Let's go to the last one, and then we'll come back to me and I'll give you my thoughts on things.
Hi, Sharks. I'm Sam from New York City, and I'm seeking $250,000 for 5% of my company, Flouse. Sharks, there's one question we all dread being asked when we go to the dentist. Have you been flossing? And if you're anything like me, you'll give a confident, of course, even though the last time I flossed was 6 months ago. Oops. Sharks, let's be real. Dentists know when we're lying. And despite being an essential part of oral health, only 30% of Americans floss daily. Yikes. That's because traditional flossing sucks. It's painful, time-consuming, difficult, and gross. That's why I invented Flouse. Flouse is the world's first electric flosser that makes flossing as quick, easy, and comfortable as using your favorite electric toothbrush. Here's how Flouse works. Simply snap on a fresh recyclable floss head, power it up, and select your favorite speed setting of up to 18,000 sonic vibrations per minute. Then let Flouse work its magic with our patented Floss Assist motion as it moves quickly and gently between tight teeth. Flouse's ingenious ergonomic design allows you to comfortably reach your molars without ever placing your fingers in your mouth, finally. So, which one of you sharks wants to toss the floss and clean those sharp teeth of yours with Flouse?
Now, Flouse, hey man, what a way to end the season. And I have to say that I have been in contact with Sam, so I'm going to try to get her on the platform, on my platform, Everything Intellectual Property, for an interview. But man, you talk about this again, it's always the American dream. She started at Skadden, which is a big law firm, one of the world's largest law firms, M&A attorney, and all of a sudden she went to the dentist, essentially lied about flossing the way she needs to, and had 9 cavities. She goes, okay, I'm gonna just buy an electric floss, because she didn't like flossing, but she loved using her electric toothbrush. She finds out that an electric floss doesn't exist, and as a result of it, invents the electric floss, which has, she said, 3 patents. She has a trademark on the word Flouse, and she's just been killing it. And just to kind of give you guys just kind of put things in perspective, when you're working at one of these top firms in M&A, especially in the M&A department, where you're dealing with buying and selling of companies, now you're talking about $500,000 a year, $400,000 a year. The bonuses is $50,000, $100,000 a year in bonuses. So we're not talking about a regular attorney who had to wake up out of bed and make $100,000, $150,000 at their job. Man, when you're working at Skadden and Latham and Watkins and some of these big law firms throughout the world, you're making $500,000 on the low end, maybe $400,000 a year. Bonuses is pretty legit. So to the extent that, kudos for her for being able to say, okay, screw that, I'm gonna still follow at least this passion for the floss and the electric floss, and then I'm gonna kind of make it do what I do, make it do what it do, and kind of follow my passion with that. So kudos to her for that. And yeah, she's making a ton of these things. I mean, she's selling a ton of these things. I think they were saying that just within a year, she almost sold $1 million worth of these things. So you can tell she is a game changer. She is amazing. Raised $3.5 million, I think, a couple years ago on the product. And again, man, she has a benefit, which I will say, because she's in the M&A space, so she knows people. So I would imagine that helps out a lot with kind of raising money and stuff like that. But still, and she's only selling direct to consumer. So almost $1 million in sales. I think she had a fabulous partner in Candace. And like I said before, you guys are gonna have to check out that breakdown video or that reactionary video, because I said early on that, I'm like, man, yeah, this is going to get a bid. People are going to start bidding for this, and as you know it, you had Candace came in, Mr. Wonderful came in, and then Damon Johns came in, and I think that goes to show you the fact that she's the real deal. I think the product is the real deal. She's protecting the IP. She has patents. She has trademarks. She's going to be around. So I guess when it's all said and done, who's going to make the most money? Who's going to be around? This was a very tough one because I think everybody is going to be around. I think everybody has solid businesses. I love what Mosh doing and their mission and with the nutritional bars. And I think, again, they're going to be around for some time and they're going to make a ton of money. Same thing with Arbor. I think she's going to be around. If she kind of pivots the way she needs to, or at least kind of based on the feedback that the Sharks giving them, I think that she's really going to go to another stratosphere in terms of lowering her expenses. And again, these days when people kind of want to go to more organic products, kind of watching the things watching what you eat, watching just kind of whether it's your yard, plants in the house, I think people are really looking for these more organic products to the extent that they can help it. So again, I think she's going to be amazing. I think Sip Herbal, again, I think that's more of a niche product, but I still think she's going to be around for a long time and still make money, which is a cool thing. But when it's all said and done, I think Flouse, she's going to be around not only to make the most money, because again, everybody flosses. And I think it was a close between Flouse and Arbor just because, and I think they're both going to sell a ton of products. But hey, I'm in the Midwest. And in the Midwest, you have seasons. So you have the winter, you have the fall. Same thing on the East Coast, you have the winter and the fall. Now, obviously on the West Coast, in the South, you're going to be able to kind of use the products as far as the Arbor products with the plants and stuff like that, gardens year round. But in the Midwest, it's more of a seasonal thing. And I think with floss, we all need to, and floss, everybody needs to be flossing multiple times a day. And I can really see this thing turning into like a manscape where the manscape is like for man parts or whatever the case may be. You have like the razors or the shavers or whatever the case may be. I can see this turning into that for like flossing. So I just think that she's going to be around. She's going to make the most money, I think, long term, because you're doing this multiple times a day. I love the subscription model. Just kind of throw something else in there. I love that aspect of it. And I think that and for the next 5, 10, 15 years, just like the electric toothbrush kind of seem to kind of come out of nowhere and replace the traditional brushing for a lot of people, I think the flossing is going to be a similar thing, especially as a lot of people, man, time is becoming more of the essence. So you don't really got the time to really kind of go through and spend 5-6 minutes flossing and the work that it does. To be able to floss in 2-3 minutes and have that be easy, convenient for you, I think people are going to start looking for that type of stuff just throughout their lives. I think Flouse is one of the ways that they can improve upon that in their life in terms of buying their time back and making things easy while still getting that effectiveness. So I think, again, this is that 2-for-1 special that you see a lot of the times where the person who I think is going to be around most of the time or for the longest time is also going to be the person or the company that makes the most money. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Do you think Flouse is going to be around and make the most money, or do you think it's going to be maybe Mosh, maybe Arbor? Heck, do you think it's going to be a Sip Herbal? Sip Herbal, please let me know your comments in the comment section. I would love to know. And I'm going to start trying to do some QVC, some H&N breakdowns until the next kind of episodes of Shark Tank come out, the next season of Shark Tank episodes come back. So this is not the end of the reaction breakdown videos of different products, different nutritional bars, food item. I think I'm still do it with HSN and QVC products to bring you guys something, like I said, until the next Shark Tank season comes out. Again, let me know your thoughts. I appreciate you guys supporting these type videos. It seems like you guys love them. And until next time, you guys take care.